With the World Startup Festival, we offer 3 opportunities. One is for the businesses, the startup businesses themselves to come together that are in an ideation stage, to come together in a lab format where we can help develop those ideas. Once we develop the ideas, we then go to the next stage of our program, which is the accelerator stage. And at the accelerator stage is where we tend to understand the business, the growth strategy, the business plan, making sure that all of the necessary steps are there to take that idea to from the initial concept to the creation and to actually making it live, or making it a reality. And the final stage, if you like, for the World Startup Festival is the festival itself, bringing together all of these ideas, the incubation of the ideas, if you like, of the entrepreneurs, but also bringing in the investors, bringing in government, because we really have to have that dialogue with government to understand that there are a lot of policies that need to change that can support the future ecosystems of startups and that whole concept and that whole environment. So there is a lot of lobbying that's there to be had, but also an important part of this is also private sector. So we are engaging with corporations as well that can actually have that opportunity to learn about the future businesses that are being supported here in Africa. So, if you like, the World Startup Festival is really a culmination of all of that, and it's like nothing that you've seen before. It's not a traditional conference or a summit. It brings together the collaboratorium, the idea pad, the launch pad. It creates opportunities where we can get startup businesses in front of real investors who can then take an opportunity or decide whether they want to be able to invest in the future of those businesses. And our mandate is that we represent a group of investors that want access to the future pipeline, the next generation of startups, if you will. They're looking for the next big ideas, and we believe that those ideas are here and are emerging in Africa, and that's why we're so excited to be not only here in Rwanda, in the beautiful city of Kigali, but to be signing up with Smart Africa that gives us a gateway to 22 member states, soon to be 24 member states, and that in itself is a huge opportunity.
Yeah. So I do understand that you've just signed the agreement, but do you have any plan in place to actually implement what you have agreed on?
Well, initially we have been speaking with the minister from Tunisia, who we had a very productive meeting with last night. Now, as I understand it, Tunisia have been given a mandate from Smart Africa to be looking at entrepreneur activities and to be looking at an international startup conference that they'll be running in 2019. So we are very excited about teaming up with Tunisia and including them on the World Startup Festival and bringing the World Startup Festival into Africa via Tunisia. So that is one of the initial plans that we are now starting to look at, which we're very excited about, just coming out of the Smart Africa Summit. And in addition to that also we have a World Startup Festival that will be in Paris. So we are looking forward to having a very strong contingent representing Africa. And for the World Startup Festival, this is more so about bringing Africa to the world. The world generally comes into Africa. Our idea is that we have seen so much progress, so much potential, so much development here in Africa that there are some great stories that are ready to be told internationally. And we want to be able to partner with Africa to be able to tell those stories. And one of the items on our Memorandum of Understanding was also forming a press media club. And we are doing this through Smart Africa again, in addressing some of the media, making sure that they are together with us so that we get the communication of what we see and we get the channels exposed internationally in the right measures.
Yeah. So how easily accessible is it for the young people, for the young entrepreneurs? Do you work with only governments or is it a private entity?
No, this is very unique. It's like nothing that you've seen before. It's very accessible to entrepreneurs because it is for entrepreneurs essentially. So what that means is that if an entrepreneur has an idea, then they can come to our labs. And the labs is really where we cultivate those ideas, try to bring them out. And so that program over a couple of months can really help cement the business idea, establish whether there is a business idea. And then from that ideation stage, if you like, we then go to the accelerator accelerator program, and that is where we accredit the businesses. That's where we actually go through boot camps, we bring in our trainers to sit down one-on-one with those businesses and to discuss strategy. So it's about business plans, it's about working with them to make sure that all of the elements are being covered so that we can ensure those businesses are successful, and when they do that, they then are able to be part of the larger ecosystem, which gives them access to the actual investors, and that's what this is really all about. It's about getting those ideas at the grassroots levels and giving opportunities to young girls, women who have got great ideas, don't have access to capital. We want to be able to help them grow and develop. And for my own part, I've been visiting this great continent of Africa now over the last 2 years. I've visited over 40 of your countries, and I've visited these grassroots communities. And I've seen what youth and what women do with very, very little. And if they are economically empowered, they won't just transform their communities, they will power their economies and power trade their nations, and that's what we really want to be. That's what we want to be partnering Smart Africa with, to be able to bring this to reality and to power trade Africa.